The way it works is you just take the aider and place it right over the top of your stick, just like so. Now your aider is on the tree, it's attached, so you can go ahead and pull your top steps down, or my stick has two, maybe yours doesn't. It doesn't really matter. However it works for your stick. And now the method for getting all of your sticks up at once. The next thing that I do is I grab my next stick and I go ahead and I loop the Versa strap over the top of my stick so I don't have to carry it up with me. So that way whenever I get up there, it's hanging, it's ready to go. So I'll just take this and loop it over so it's there, and then I'll take the actual stick and just lean it up against the tree, set it on the ground somewhere out of the way so I can access it when I'm ready. And now I take the third stick. I've got all three of my sticks. This one lives right here for the climb. I've got this rubber Night Eyes gear tie attached to one of the molly loops on my tethered saddle. That one just wraps around. There's 100 ways you can do it. Wrap it around something, and it just lives right there. So when I'm ready to get it, grab it off, ready to go. Now that we're ready to climb, first thing I'm going to do is pass my lineman belt around the tree. For you tree stand guys, I hunt with the tree saddle, but if you use a tree stand, that's fine. Just make sure you use a safety harness. It's going to give you basically like a third hand while you're going up. With this lineman belt attached to my harness, it's a lot easier for me to work as I climb. So lineman belt is attached to the tree. I keep that always nice and high above my waist. I don't want it below my waist if at all possible. And then the process from here is really simple. You just dig your boot into the tree. It's important that you keep that toe into the tree. You don't want it on the side. If it's on the side, that's no good. You want to use that toe, your toe, as leverage. And then I'm just going to push backwards. If you can see that, I'm pushing backwards into my saddle using this lineman belt. It's not just there for looks. I'm using it as I climb, and it supports me. I mean, I could basically go hands-free, and the lineman belt and my toe deep into the tree is basically supporting everything. That's important. And then if you need to, you can adjust your lineman belt, make it tighter, loosen it up. That's one of the benefits of this Ropeman 1. You can adjust yourself as you go up. So now I'm just going to take my time and climb, keeping my toe into the tree, keeping that lineman belt up as I go. I want to keep it advancing because I don't want that to be down low beneath me in case I were to slip. I got a better chance of catching myself if this thing is high. So that's kind of my process, is I kind of pull up and slide it up and keep it connected. So I'm always nice and safe because I definitely want to go home at the end of my hunt. I'm doing this super slow for you guys just so you get the picture, but that's the whole process. So now I'm basically at my stick, and I just do that right there. So now I can climb up onto the step, or stick rather, and my whole weight now is supported by the climbing stick. And the next thing that I would do is I go ahead and remove the aider, because that's going to come up with me as I climb. So I'm just going to pull that off just like so. And then what I do typically is, there's a lot of ways you can do it. You could put a carabiner on this and clip it to your saddle, clip it to your harness. You can clip it to here if you're comfortable opening this. Probably wouldn't recommend that. What I typically do is just put it over my arm, over my shoulder like that, and then I take the rest of it and throw it over my neck. So now it's got to fall off my neck and my shoulder for it to hit the ground, because you don't want to drop this thing. Next process is to grab that stick. I pull that up. Now I got my second stick, and I can repeat the process. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to climb up, get on top of my climbing stick, bring my lineman belt up nice and high, tighten that thing down. I want to hold myself nice and tight to the tree. I don't want to slip at all. So I'm going to tighten that thing down, and then I'm just going to repeat the process here where I set the next stick just like I did on the ground. And I'm going to do basically the same thing. Just pass it around the tree, get it up there, find the right Versa strap loop. I'm going to do the same process. I'll wrap that Versa strap up, make sure it's nice and tight, and that's not going anywhere. Okay, got my aider, pull it off my shoulder, repeat the exact same process. Loop it over, set your stick, make sure everything is nice and where it belongs. Now at this point, I'm going to give myself some slack in my lineman belt, move it up, and now I'm ready to climb. So you can see this process, it's really not that complicated. I'm going incredibly slow right now just so I can talk and demonstrate everything slowly. But you can do this, fairly quickly. Speed isn't really the goal. You really want to take your time, be quiet, make small movements. As you notice, you didn't hear anything clanging around. Because I use those Versa straps, there's no buckles. This thing is all webbing. There's nothing really to make noise. There's no clanging buckles around, no nothing like that. It's a very quiet process. But from here, I'm ready to go ahead and climb to the second stick. So that process is, again, exactly like it was on the ground. You're just getting your foot in there. So now the process is exactly like it was on the ground. Foot into the tree, toe into the tree, and then, you're just climbing with your lineman belt, advancing it as you climb, and you're just doing it nice and slow, nice and safe. You're not getting in a hurry. Again, no reason to get in a hurry. So just slowly climb the tree, take your time, trust your lineman belt, push back into it, do everything slowly, and just really just pay attention to what you're doing. Now, as you can see, now I'm at the top, and I would have one more stick. Now I'm going to end it there because, just because I am, and you can probably barely see what I'm doing anyway. But now you see that I have this third stick here. All I have to do is reach back, undo it from my gear tie, and now I can go ahead and attach my third stick, move the aider up with me, and I've got basically 20 plus feet with only 3 sticks and 1 aider. Now the process coming down is, here's that third stick that I'm not going to install, so I'll just drop that one down. The process coming down is pretty simple as well. When you're standing on the bottom 2 sticks, or 2 steps rather, just want to fold your top step up. And again, this system really works best with a stick with double steps. You can use it with a single step, but it's not as effective because to get the most height, you really need to be standing on your top, the top of your stick. So if you have to stand down here on the bottom, you just can't get as high. And if you only have 1 step per side, it's really hard to do. I've done that before on Lone Wolf sticks where there's only 1, and it's definitely not as user-friendly as having a 2-stick setup like these leverage sticks. But the process for coming down is pretty straightforward as well. You just kind of don't drop your aider, is the most important thing. Loop it over your top of your sticks, or top of your steps, and then you just climb down nice and slow. Give yourself plenty of room in your lineman belt to where you can really lean into it. Again, you want to use this lineman belt. Don't look at it as just a fail-safe. Use it as a piece of gear that's really helping you accomplish something. So then I'm just going to come down, dig. I'm going to dig that toe into the tree. It's very important. And I'm just going to take my time, use my lineman belt, digging that toe in, leaning back. You can see this is like supporting my whole weight here. I mean, everything is in this saddle. Get my lineman belt nice and snug, holding me nice and tight against the tree, so I'm free to work with both hands. You notice I got both feet on top of my stick, so I'm real secure. I mean, you can even like put your heels on it. So you really got a good purchase. You use your feet, to push against the tree. I can bear hug the tree if I slip. I got both my hands. This is the way to do it. And the process here is really simple. Just going to go ahead and remove the stick, move that Versa strap, and I'll just leave the aider on the tree or on the stick for right now. You could take it off and loop it over your shoulder if you want. There's really no wrong way to do this. I probably go back and forth with how I do it too. On any hunt, I probably do it different ways every time. But it's a pretty simple process at the end of the day. Take the stick off, and then you can either, if you're trying to be nice and quiet, you can, hook your stick back up to your saddle. If you don't really care about noise, if you're not coming back here, you can just drop it down. Don't drop your aider though. I'm gonna repeat that process again. Give myself a little bit of slack, come on down. Then when I'm standing here on the stick, I'm gonna go ahead and loop that over and reset it. You can see how easy that is. It's really not a complicated process. If you spend 15 minutes in a tree somewhere, you know, go to your favorite piece of public ground, play around on a few different size trees. Go to your favorite piece of public ground, pick out some different size trees, big trees, small trees, practice putting your stick on there, practice climbing with the aider. And after you've done it a handful of times, you'll find that it's a really efficient system.